Hello, friends. The world does feel like it's returning a little bit to normal. I'm back in our office at 1 Kendall Square in Cambridge, and it's absolutely frigid here, which is also fairly normal in a good way. A couple of hours ago, I had a conversation with a friend of the firm and LP, Ed Baldry. He's just written a new book on his sales philosophy and sales etiquette. This is, of course, a topic which is always near and dear to us as we help early stage fintech companies win their first few customers and hopefully find product market fit. So without further ado, I will turn it over to that conversation with me and Ed. Thank you so much for watching. Ed, thanks for coming on the show.
All right. Well, thank you very much for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
I hope you don't mind starting off by sharing a little bit about yourself for the viewers who don't know you as well as we do at Vestigo.
Very good. No, happy to do so. My name's Ed Baldry. My background is I started in the fixed income industry about 30 years ago. I had the opportunity to work for Mark Cassidy a few different times at a few different firms. So primarily in the short liquidity money fund business. My career spanned a few names like Concord Financial, Visus, onto Scudder, and then ultimately Deutsche Bank, which was acquired by, the Zurich Scudder business, which was acquired by Deutsche Bank. And then in about 2003, the writing was pretty clearly on the wall that many of our biggest customers were using more than one fund. In some cases, they were using 5, in some cases, they were using 10, in some cases, it was just 20 different funds they were using. So we got together, myself, Jeff Jellison, and Tom Newton, my partners. These are all old friends of mine, and we are actually fraternity brothers, believe it or not. We said, what if? What if we could create an environment where the consumer could use any of the funds and we could get them for them all in one place? So if you will, we created a web-based one-stop shop for all of the different funds in one environment. So with one application, they could have access to all the funds. With one wire, they could settle for all of the different funds. And then they received one consolidated report. So those operational efficiencies were enormous for—
That sounds a lot like fintech to me.
It is indeed early fintech. So we called it software as a service. And the punchline is that we were the largest independent portal in the world. To date, they're currently over 200 billion in assets under management. And I retired from ICD in July of 2019. And that's at that point with a few of my former colleagues where I started my current business at EPBComms.
Fantastic. And your approach to retirement seems to be a bit like Mark Cassidy's, which it strikes me as working more than ever. But you've also become a bit of an author, and maybe you could tell us just a little teaser about your latest piece.
Well, thank you very much. Yeah, the book is called It Begins with Please, and it doesn't end with thank you. The book is a sales training book, essentially, that espouses the concept of transferring business etiquette into sales performance. And the book in its truest form is about the ethos of respect, gratitude, and appreciation, and how those can drive sales performance. So the book was, I wrote the book over COVID with some great assistance from my team and my editor, Ethan Gilsdorf, and the book was published by River Grove and Greenleaf Book Group here in October. And we have both the print and the ebook dropped in October, and the audio book will drop here November 23rd.
Fantastic. And I've had the privilege of discussing some of the pieces in it and going through some of it. And what really struck me was your observation that sales is really a multi-turn game. And I suppose that can sort of be generalized to any kind of negotiation, but I would love an example, if you wouldn't mind, of where it's important to keep some of these principles in mind and how that should kind of inform business behaviors.
Great. Well, I think it really begins with the due diligence process, and this is speaking from a sales standpoint. If you're prospecting well and you're able to perform adequate research on the people that you're calling on, then you should be able to ascertain a few things. First of all, what problem it is you can solve for them. Secondarily, what that person's job, roles and responsibilities are, and how you can help them improve in their job and either save time or money. And lastly, how your product or service can impact their overall standing within their company or their community. So if you can understand those basic things, then you're in a much better place to go in and ask for their business. We like to say, lead them to down the logical path that provides your product as the solution. So
fantastic.
Yeah.
And it's interesting to me as well, especially in this this very kind of time-pressed modern age, that you focused specifically on manners and really in the sort of practical context of doing business. And in some sense, this shouldn't be particularly controversial. Be polite and you'll be a better salesperson. But I'd love another example, perhaps, of sort of common misbehaviors that you hope this book would correct.
Well, again, I think that the world has gotten so fast that many people can't look up from their screens to recognize that there's a human being on the other end of their communications. So to slow down and operate with, again, the ethos of respect, with gratitude and appreciation for people's time and attention, again, is going to put you in a better position to not just turn a trick, but to earn a relationship. So the key here is for those that are interested in gaining long-term, mutually beneficial relationships, rather than somebody who is just trying to print a ticket. So
are there specific?
They're kind of different goals, Fraser. So if somebody is in the business where a long-term, mutually beneficial relationship is better for them and their career, their income, and their overall livelihood, then this book is geared for that.
And do you think there is something sort of philosophically incorrect about the way sales is taught today that's created the current paradigm? What's your approach to correcting that?
Well, again, we have opportunities now where we do sales training, sales coaching, and mentoring for some large companies who've got big sales forces. And sales isn't necessarily taught anymore as much as it is there are just protocols put in place. So sales is implied by the usage of a CRM system, by the usage of different metrics and tools that account for reporting. So reporting isn't, and those really objective goals don't really equate to sales training and education. So I think that many people, especially in the younger generations that haven't had experience with face-to-face or person-to-person sales, can benefit from the idea of understanding some sales training and coaching. So that again, I think if there's a small generational gap in terms of what the process of acquiring a client is and earning the right to ask for their business.
It's fun to hear you say that, because it goes back to our discussion before the call, which was really around apprenticeship and what's being lost, especially for younger folks who aren't able to have face-to-face time with more experienced colleagues.
Yes.
So Ed, you've been extremely generous with your time already. And I'd really like to thank you again for being with us. Before we go, could you please make sure to plug the book and let the viewers know where they can find out more about you? And I think most importantly, the book.
Oh, well, thank you very much. Certainly. Well, the book is available on all basically online distributions, Amazon, Barnes & Nobles, and others. You can learn more about myself and my company at our website, which is EPBComms, COMMS. And also, you can search my author splash page, which is edwinbaldry.com, and that will take you to many different sites to purchase the book through print, ebook, or audio. But thank you very much. I appreciate the opportunity. to speak with you and certainly your audience, and hopefully we can be of some help.
Fantastic. I hope you have a healthy, happy holiday season, and I'm really looking forward to catching you in the flesh next
Likewise,
time. Likewise.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Fraser. Appreciate you and the entire Vestigo team. All the best.
Cheers. Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye.